Welcome to another edition of Thunder and Lightning. We have a special podcast that could have been done through an email, text, you name it, pigeon carrier. It was Joe Schoen's annual bi-week press conference. Nikki, what's up? How's it going tonight? We are Thunder and Lightning. We are the New York sports show about literally anything and nothing at all at the same time. What's going on? How are we doing today before we get into the mess that was Joe Schoen's press conference?
That is quite an accomplishment, to be a show that talks about anything and nothing all at the same time. You know, that's
my
like
style.
Not a lot of shows can do that. And that sums us up perfectly, I think, because we do talk about anything and simultaneously it is literally about nothing, much like Joe Schoen's press conference was a complete nothing burger. But my day has been anything but a nothing burger. So
okay. So yeah, before we get into it, going into it, we both knew that it was gonna be nothing. Because obviously them at 2-8, he's not gonna throw anybody under the bus. And it's just the media was gonna have a field day about literally anything and everything about every little move he has, every little trigger he has. And for the most part, the media didn't pull back any punches for the most part, from what I've heard, which I'm proud of, because sometimes the media, let's face it, throws a little power puffs of like, oh, yeah, well. Like, I think this season, most of the media is like, all right, we can't have what we did last year. I'm like, oh, well, so-and-so's hurt. We got to put that in perspective. This year, all things are open for discussion. So pretty much what I thought.
Didn't really softball question it much this year. And I mean, how can you at this point, like the softball questions are just not going to fly anymore. And, that whole beat has completely flipped. So
flip. And like I mentioned before, the main guys and girls that you would be like, well, the Giants have played 6 1-score games and they're 1-5 in it. So they're not that bad as you per se. And that's what Joe Schoen his main message was. This league is so mid and mediocre that if a couple things went that way, a different way for us, we would be, like you mentioned the other night, we could easily be 2-7 or a little bit lower, like a couple of games we probably wouldn't have pulled out. But it just feels like with the quarterback position, if we had better quarterback play in some of those games, we could have pulled out some of those wins. And that was more of the turning point. They didn't throw Daniel Jones per se under the bus. He mentioned everybody as a whole, himself, Dabes, all the other coaches and the players. But we all know at the end of the day, it's Daniel Jones. It was Daniel Jones without saying Daniel Jones. And Daboll also mentioned it yesterday, because the last 7 or 8 weeks, it was, no, he's still our quarterback, blah, blah, blah. And we have to look at the tape, your favorite words. We have to look at the tape and now analyze of what's going on this season. We know what's going on. And I think the move is finally going to happen. So we'll get it more into that later. So I just thought it was a spin class. Like, he went to Soul Cycle right there and just kept spinning his little heart out and just like, well, we're the youngest team in the league. We got to just find a way to keep building and yeah, we're still new at this job for the last couple of years. My drafts haven't been great, but we still have Tyler New this year's draft class that everybody's so high on. So I didn't taking away this press conference. I didn't feel any different from how I felt Sunday night, and with you and me venting about how this season has gone. So it just seems like he got tripped up every now and then when he tried to deflect it towards something else, where he would like realize halfway through, like, oh crap. In his head, he's like, "Oh crap! I just threw someone under the bus, so I'm gonna have to pivot real quick." No, that's not what I meant to say. And we've all been in those situations before. Like you're trying not to throw people under the bus, but at the same time throwing people under the bus. So I think he was doing a master class in that regard, and obviously that's not a good thing. So
Yeah, I don't know. Can't relate. I just throw people under the bus. Like,
you're the I don't give a fuck. I'm throwing everybody under the bus and
yeah,
watching it burn. So
yeah,
yeah,
I am. I mean, I know they have to go up there, Danny, and play the game, and they
right.
can't say what we all know what they want to say. Like, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I would just really love for someone to come up there and do that. Like, just be like, you know what? Yeah, we regret our decision, And it's like, what? Really think about what would happen if they went and said that. Obviously, the media would have a field day, right? You'd
Yep.
probably get fired, but it's like, why should you get fired for speaking the truth?
Right.
Because you obviously, and don't tell me because, oh, we want to have full confidence in Daniel Jones. Like, you don't act like you do anyway. So what do the words matter? Because you don't act like it, or why you go for 2 all the time then? Like, you don't, like, I don't know, like, he's afraid to throw, like you said 2 nights ago. They certainly act like that. They know that, and you don't act like you have confidence in him. So how much are the fans supposed to really buy into this, like, bullshit, like, fake, like, confidence they supposedly had? I mean, it went from, to your point, he's our starter, to now where I tweeted like evaluations and good practice. I can't believe Joe Shane threw in, we had a good day of practice. Shut the fuck up.
But it is weird. It is okay. Before
Day
you go,
of practice. No, like, shut up about it. Danny, how we've heard how great practice has been.
yes,
Day, every week, and like every week you go out there and shit the bed. So how
it is weird. It is unorthodox to have practice during the bye week. So that in itself
does
is
it
weird.
matter? Does it actually matter?
No, it doesn't. But I'm just saying it is weird during the bye week.
It is weird, but I said that, like, evaluations and practices, they're like the thoughts and prayers of football. Like, it's like at some point,
I don't want to answer it. So good luck. That's the best answer I have. But
yeah, it's like thoughts and prayers. When somebody says something to, you're like, oh, I send my thoughts and prayers. Oh, we're having self-evaluations and we had a good practice today. It's like, this is what I don't get. Their words do not line up to their actions. Like, and I'm just an action person, like, it just personally in real life. Like, I actually, everybody gives me shit for like never apologizing, but I don't ever actually expect apologies in return, because you probably meant what you said to me. And also you'll probably do it again unless you're going to actually change your behavior. And so nothing is changing, right? It's the same thing over and over and over again. They're telling us the same words over and over and over again. But we get to Sunday or a Monday night game, and it's like, what happened to all these words? You would think if you went based on how they answer these questions, that's a winning culture. That locker room is like solid. They have all the confidence in the world in Daniel Jones. And then what happens when they get on the field?
Yeah, the 30-second scoring offense in the league. They don't know how to play in the red zone. They completely forget how to play. They move the ball down the field with no problem. Yeah, they have no problem moving the ball from the 20 to the 20. Then once they're in the red zone, they play like they're in powder puff, like football with like JV, where like people don't ever know how to play. Darius, what's up, bro? How's it going? Hope you're doing well tonight.
I mean, again, we don't expect them to come out there and say it, but I think too, it's like, find a way to hold yourself accountable, and Brian Daboll will a little bit when he's like, that's on me, the coaching's on me. I get it. Okay. I get that as a leader, but also it's like, I don't know. We are so far gone and so far past, I feel like, trying to be politically correct to the New York media at this point. Like, I just, how is anybody buying this? Like, it was a complete colossal waste of time.
Yeah, I don't even think the biggest of homers thought it was a amazing press conference. So
Like
The biggest,
self-evaluations. Like, what are they evaluating?
yeah, and I didn't even get the biggest part of for me particularly, and I didn't ask you on purpose because I wanted it to be saved for this. I thought the craziest not self-reflecting, whether it's good or bad, but the weirdest was he was very confident that he's gonna keep his job. I've seen people say, "Hey, Gettleman kept it for 4 and 5 seasons and everything else like that." I get that, and that's fair. I would have probably done a little bit more self awareness of saying, "Yeah, well, we're 2-7 right now. Uh, Me worrying about next season probably is the last thing on my mind." But in the second thing is he was also reflecting towards next year on how many? It's 22 players. There was 3 that are free agents next year, theoretically, because you can't say Daniel Jones is there until we flat out cut him. So it's basically Pinnock, Van Roten, and there was another player. But yeah, it's just the weird dynamics. It just what did Darius say? I blame Schoen and Daboll for their decision, but I do not think they should be fired. They need to get their own guy and stand on it, not inherit one.
Well, so that I was actually going to ask you that question. So, what do you do? Okay, you retain Dable, right, and Shane, and then you have them go get their guy. You probably need to give that quarterback 2 years, maybe 3.
Well, I mean,
So hold on. Do you do that? Then you're essentially saying, if you're saying go get your guy, I feel like you're signing on for more than one more year because
yes.
like, let's be realistic, right? You're probably giving them 2 more years. Or if you get rid of, Daniel Jones is not here next season, do you just start over? New coach, new GM, new guy, and let them all go. Like, because I feel like if you're keeping them, then you're saying you go get your guy, and I'm giving you a couple more years to do this. What would be stupid is to have them go get their guy and then fire them in 2025. The end of
right,
2025.
right.
So
and that's what
like
we that's what we did with and that's what we did with Shermer.
Right. So I mean, what do you think the best way to handle it is?
They're such a mess right now that keeping them would be the better route in terms of continuity of everything, and then they're finally gelling, I guess would be the better word. But there's other coaches out there right now that are not that are on the market, and that a fresh voice would be also well. But Dabe's apparently the locker room still likes him and loves him, according to Carl Banks. But let's face it, this is the second year we're 2-8 coming from the bye. We have no idea what's going on. Everything's in shambles. At some point, they're gonna have to lose the locker room. I mean, the most positive guy is just not gonna take this losing. Like Dexter Lawrence, man, poor guy. Dexter's been here in the thick and thin, and he's playing at an all pro level, and it's just like, oh, here we go again. So, right.
So you still, because Sunday you said you don't think they should get another shot.
What I said on Sunday was they probably shouldn't get another shot. And that if they were to get fired, I would be okay with it because of that. Because what your record is, what your record is what you are, unfortunately, right now. So you did, Darius.
Yeah,
I did too.
Yeah, you guys did. I thought this would have been the one game that they could have possibly, because it's not going to get any easier really after the bye.
I just found it odd on how confident he was in that answer. That was the most confident he was throughout the whole press conference.
Well, it's funny because we'll sit here and say, you have to project confidence, and then when he does, people want to rip him for projecting confidence. Like,
right.
So in a way, he can't win no matter what he says.
There's
right?
no winning.
There's no winning. The only way this goes away is to literally win games. Like,
right.
And at this point, nobody wants to hear anything other than, we have no confidence in Daniel Jones. But you don't even really need to say it, much as we want to hear it. We all want to hear it. And if anyone says otherwise, you're lying. But we don't really need to hear it because your actions really show us that. So, I mean, I think they come back. I think a conversation was had. I think they come back. I think they get a shot to get their guy. And I think by saying that, you're giving them more than 1 year because
they're definitely getting ridiculous. At least 2 because next year is their final years of their contracts. So they would have to get extension, and I don't think they're going to because that's going to be ugly.
Right.
As much as we like them, and Pat Leonard already wrote an article that Dave should get fired. The articles are already out and written, and you called it 2 years last year. Like, the press does not like Brian Daboll at all, and you can tell because he basically doesn't really have that many allies in the media. Like,
he does not. I could tell you from standing there, I can understand why he doesn't have any allies. Now, I'm not defending the beat. There are certain people who will purposely agitate him and talk about how they're going to agitate him beforehand. Mm-hmm. But I would say Brian Daboll does not do himself any favors when it comes to the media. And probably Brian Daboll thinks, I don't give a fuck, write what you want to write. However, it all just compiles into one giant shit pile. Nothing really gets better. The narrative does not get better. Nobody can win at what they're saying. Like, he doesn't have any allies in the media. Not now. I think maybe there were a couple, but at this point, no one's left. Everybody's writing these crazy articles. And, I'm just glad it's cool for them to do it now, so.
Yeah, no, it is. And there was another thing. And let's say Tommy DeVito or Drew Lock start now and they start winning games. Oh, wow. Of course, you start winning now. This should have been done a couple months ago. How different the season would have been. And to the point of, oh, here we go.
Why'd you pay Daniel Jones? But that leads into the Saquon thing. Like, you see how it's so, to your point, if it's like, yes, if they start winning games, first of all, Tank Crew's going to get upset. But there's going to be a majority of the fan base that says, why didn't you do this months ago? And then it's going to be, well, they clearly said in Hard Knocks, we didn't pay him to hand the ball off. So you paid him a shitload of money. Yeah, he's fucking starting, right? But then that goes into, like, if Tommy DeVito ends up winning these games and you didn't pull the trigger on him months ago, why did you let go of Saquon? Why did you make the choice you did? Then you're going to stand up here in front of the media and say you don't regret anything. So, like, they literally,
they don't make sense.
They don't make sense. They can't win at anything, literally, and their actions don't line up to their words. And the fan base is not that stupid. The media is not that stupid. We see through it. At this point, it feels like it is like bubbling over. You then use your actions, then bench Daniel Jones and do something, because the bullshit, like, they keep contradicting themselves. There's no way out of this web that they have weaved.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And they're lucky, because of how poor the Giants' offense is, that they can say it's performance-based, not injury-cause-based. But we all know they don't want that physical in March where Daniel Jones has to pass. If not, we're losing $20 million against the cap, and we're cutting him regardless, And we're not stupid. We know that. We've seen other teams do that. And the way Daniel Jones is taking hits when he's running the ball, he does not care.
Of course he doesn't care. That's why I also think
he won angry runs the other 2 weeks ago against Washington.
Well, that's why I think they bench him out of the bye. It's an insurance policy, essentially, right? And no, we're not, but they operate like we are. And I think that also upsets the fan base, because you're kind of insulting us. There are idiot Giants fans, and I know what were we voted, like, the dumbest, like, fan
apparently,
base?
Apparently.
So, but I mean, for the most part, we're not stupid. We can see through things. I just think the past 2 seasons have been fumbled so horribly from an action standpoint, a PR standpoint, contract, like all of it has just been a complete and utter mess and a PR nightmare for them because you paid Jones and you let go of Barkley, and now look at you. Now look. And then you sit up there and say, I have no regrets. I know you have to say that, but like if you bench him, then you're essentially saying you have a regret. Okay, so if you bench him, then you're essentially contradicting whatever the fuck you said today about how you're confident in him and what we're doing evaluation. So they cannot win. They cannot get out of this web no matter what they do.
Mm-hmm.
You almost have to like blow it up, almost.
Yeah, for sure. And when they're the youngest team, like I get that, but like when he mentions Newman replacing McKinney. McKinney's having basically an all-pro season with the interceptions alone. Every time we watch a Packer game, he's making an interception or making that big play, and you're like, damn it.
Way to go leave the Giants and have this great season.
And then Saquon, we knew he was going to break out with the Eagles. We knew it. It's just crazy that backwards flip, that backwards hurdle. Who even thinks of that? We didn't even talk about it. Who even thinks like I'm going to do a couple twirls and then I'm going to hurdle backwards, knowing I'm going to get murdered. Doesn't get murdered, and now it's like the greatest play ever. So it is what it is. It's just and then you have Love from 2 seasons ago, and it's just a couple of those players now would have been a big difference. So it's just it's just the new philosophy that a lot of the older fans don't get. And to a degree, I agree, because look, Tyrone Tracy is he leads the rookies in running. So granted, Saquon is all world, all pro this year, other maybe than Derrick Henry. So that's obviously going to be glaring, and you're going to take an L on that because it's not translating, even though our 5th round running back is playing awesome, other than that one fumble and that one guy with the interception, which I still think was Jones's fault. But he's far from perfect. He's a rookie, but hey. We'll look with
Darius says, I just hope we get our own Jaden Daniels or CJ.
Me too, bud.
Need that
now.
Did you hear Joe Shane? Did he call Daniel Janiel? Yeah, Jalen and he so badly wanted them. But again, you could really just backtrack this all the way to the draft. I mean, again, we said it. I don't think New England was ever moving, right?
No. We played out of it, and then
you had JJ McCarthy there, and
JJ and Penix and Nix. So if any of those 3 unfairly, they're gonna be like, "Hey, we could have gotten any of those 3 guys. Why didn't we?" So
right. So like I said, no matter what they do, I just think it's a game, and I think that they just fumbled this horribly. I think it all really started with the Saquon negotiations that went south 2 years ago, and I don't think they've been able to kind of recover from that because it'll all stem back to that, right? And it'll all just stem back to 6 years of Daniel Jones. I don't know, Danny, if you had somebody in your department, after 6 years they couldn't do their job, is your answer going to be let me evaluate them while they're all on vacation? What else do you need? What else do you need to see, people?
And we are the laughing stock because we've said it the last couple of years of, wow, Daniel Jones has been in the league for 6 years. Yeah. And then Anthony Richardson does have his problems. He's raw. We knew he was raw coming out. Yeah. He should have probably stayed in Florida for a year or 2.
1 more year. Yeah.
At least one more year. And then he couldn't get on the field after 10 games. And let's face it, since he got benched, Joe Flacco looks like Joe Flacco of being on the Jets and a 37-year-old or close to 40. I don't even know how old Joe Flacco is, but
I think he's 40 or might be turning 40. Yeah.
Yeah, for football ages, that's ancient, obviously. He had a couple of good moments, and they're going to sync with him. So that's all you need to know. It's just
New York
it's a
football is
circus.
just a mess right now. The Jets are a mess. We're a mess. I always forget about Buffalo. I know. Somebody pointed that out to me. They were like, Nikki, Buffalo is a team in New York, right? I was like, I forgot. Sorry. Like, I didn't forget. I just, Jets and Giants are always top of mind.
New York metropolitan area. Thank you very much. Not Western New York.
Which I got my lesson on all 5 boroughs this morning. That's what I do for work. Yeah. So the press conference could have been an email, right? The meetings, 100%. I just feel like it wasted everybody's time, and we got nothing out of it, like we thought. And
it was lip service, which we knew.
Of course, it was. They can't get mad at the media for what they write. Like, it just goes back to that too. You can't get mad at the media and the content creators and the podcasters for all the negativity that you're getting, because you're not doing yourselves any favors. I don't know who does media training over there, but holy shit. Like, come on, guys. Come on. You're not making this any better for yourself. So everybody walked away like, ho hum, this was a nothing burger. This could have been an email, and there'll be evaluations, and I'm sure they'll bench Jones as an insurance policy, and we'll get Locke, and we'll get DeVito, and a little entertainment. And now if DeVito goes in and wins 5 games, I mean, are you all pissed? Like, now what?
I'm going to be pissed this year, but happy at the same time. This is why I'm mad about the spot they put us in.
Right, yeah, we're all in that spot, and that's not fair to the fans.
We never root for them to lose. I'm like a broken record. I never want them to lose, but at the end of the day, if we lose, all right, cool. Another week closer to a top 2 pick. So,
which we're number 2 right now, right?
At the moment, we are number 2 because the Jaguars have a better strength of record higher than the Jaguars. So. Hopefully, all the teams that are in that boat lose this weekend. I didn't even look at the schedule yet, but hopefully, all those teams win. No, we need them to win.
No,
Sorry. See, I'm thinking like a loser. We need them to win. I hate that.
Like no, I'm just kidding. That's really what it boils down to: is the franchises put all the fans in this shitty place for the second year, right? And this, like, we want to root for you, we want to support you, but also, like, we expect you to lose. Shit, now we kind of want you to lose. Oh, fuck. If you put DeVito in and he goes off, like, and we win 4 games, like, well, God damn it. Now we have, like, whatever pick we end up being at, like, 6. And it's like, come on. Like, I don't want to feel that way about the football team I root for.
Right. And I mentioned it after the Commanders game. I hate going to games where there's literally no vibe.
Right.
And, like, there's just, like, going to that game was like, all right, I'm at a football game. Cool. Like, there was zero life. There was zero vibes. None of the people that we were talking to and hanging out with. There was just, like, we're all dead inside. And that's not good. That's like,
you have a disenfranchised fan base. The fan bases are the lifeblood of these franchises, and
it's lifeless. It's just, ugh.
Yeah, nobody wants to go to. First of all, the stadium's not great, and then the vibe sucks, and the product sucks. It's like
the visiting team comes. Yeah, the visiting team comes because, hey, a weekend in New York and New Jersey. Awesome. Let's, like, have a weekend out of it. And I told you, the Commander fans came out of witness protection a couple weeks ago.
I'm sure they did. Like we said, they probably trained it. It's not that bad of a travel distance, but it's like pick that struggle. You can't be a shitty stadium, have it be in a shitty location. You have shitty food. The fans are shitty. The vibe is shitty. The product's shitty. Like, you can't be, like, sorry to say this, but, like, you can't be like, ugly, overweight, and a bitch. Pick one. Like, pick a struggle? Like, you can't be all these things. Like, you just can't. I'm sorry. Like, don't make that face, okay? Looks matter. What the fuck? Are we going to pretend looks matter? We're going to pretend Daniel Jones is a good quarterback? No, we don't do this on the show.
It's like
okay?
slapping makeup on a pig, and it's just like, oh, here we go, Daniel Jones again. Oh, great.
I feel like if a guy thinks you're attractive, because I would say hot and pretty and beautiful depends on what that means to you. But if someone finds you attractive, and it goes the other way too, if a woman finds a guy really attractive, but he's a pain in the ass, you kind of put up with it, right? But you're not going to put up with all of unattractive and like all the other bad things that come with it, and a shitty personality, and you're mean, and you're nasty. Like, no, it can't be all these things. Like,
Darius,
and you're bad in bed, and you're no. Pick a struggle.
Darius, yes, DJ is a nice guy, and I think for the level-headed fan that we like to think we are, can compartmentalize that, and unfortunately, yes, awesome guy. We've said it millions of times. If we had daughters, we would like to have him, that type of guy like Daniel, to be that guy, to be a boyfriend to those said daughters. And it's unfortunately he's just not really good at football, and the Giants gave him 6 years to try to be good. And we've had moments with him, and I saw someone on Twitter, they couldn't even name top 10 moments for Daniel Jones, and it's in 6 years.
I just don't know how long you get to prove yourself. There's no other profession where you're getting 6 years to,
even in that said profession, like we mentioned before. So we'll see what happens.
6 years is just outrageous. So I think, Danny, gun to your head. Oh, sorry, no. Let me. If you had to make, take that back. Whatever. If you had to make a decision, I think he's benched out of the bye.
He's done. The wording and everything, and just the vibes. He's benched, and they're not going to say it until next week, obviously, because that question came up today when they said, "Oh, we practice," and someone, "Oh, you practiced today? Who started as QB1?" Oh, no, it wasn't that kind of practice. Oh, okay. We're a football team where the quarterback needs to make a move.
Yeah.
You would have just said Daniel Jones, and you didn't.
Right. Like, we can all read between the lines, them trying to be very creative with their wording. We can all read between the lines, but
yeah, we've seen enough press conferences in football.
Oh God, it's torture. Unless you guys have been there, I know watching it, but I have to tell you, being there and standing, it's just different. It is brutal. It is torture. It is. It's not fun. They're not a fun team to cover at all whatsoever. They're just not. And they want to know why they get bad press. Well, like we said, your stadium sucks, the food sucks, the fans and the vibes suck, and your product sucks. So,
yeah, no, it was like going to the dentist for that Commanders game.
But like we said, at least at the dentist, you're getting drugs, laughing gas, Novocaine, knock yourself out for a little bit. You feel good for a minute. Like, there's no feeling good when you watch the Giants. You feel good for like a second, and then you're like, is a flag down? How many penalties are we, like, how are we shooting ourselves in the foot this time? Are we calling some stupid ass play? Are we going for two when we shouldn't? Like, I mean, all these things that could go wrong. And then you watch other teams, and they're just so easy with it. Like,
it's watching a different sport.
That's really all it is.
So,
all right. So you had, before we get out of here, before I ask you what you had for dinner, you had like a coffee debacle today. That did not look good. Let's go. Put him on blast.
That's why.
What'd they do?
That's why I'm a Team Dunkin' all the way.
You were at Starbucks today, right?
Yeah, I had money at Starbucks, so I went to Starbucks. It's literally right outside my building, so I'm like, Starbucks. See, they're so hit and miss. Like, some people at like the baristas at Starbucks, like, I need to find out which guy does my coffee on the good way and not the good way. And it's the guy had the cream on top of the coffee and it didn't set. And I joked with you. I sent you the selfie of the coffee. And like, I can I have my cream with a side of coffee? So Yeah, it didn't take me until halfway till I got home for it to actually set. So I had cream with coffee today. So that set me off with the crankiness already as is with that. So yeah, Starbucks
Yeah.
has to be better with that. I don't know
What
why. I
did
don't
you
know
get?
what.
Just a cold brew with almond milk, or
It was just a regular coffee with hazelnut and vanilla and with almond milk, and the guy just didn't shake the coffee.
no? They don't
And
shake anything. I don't understand why they do that. They just plop all the creams and the cold foams on there.
if you're
Did
gonna
you
do that,
try?
but but the cream first. Then if you're gonna
Yeah, I
do
don't
that,
I don't know why they do this. I don't know. It must be some like cost
at
effective,
least I'll
efficient
give them
way.
this. The coffee was actually cold this time, and we had that
Ah,
talk a
yes.
couple weeks
Yeah,
ago.
that's the other thing Starbucks has been doing. And they want to know why they're losing business. Well, first of all, shit's like $8 and your
Yeah.
iced coffee's warm and you don't shake anything and you just plop everything in there. God forbid you mix it or give it a little like a little swirl or something. So you
Right.
haven't been to Dunkin'. You didn't try my like nutrageous drink that I made?
Yeah, no, I didn't get that far yet. Maybe tomorrow or in a couple of days, but yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, are you still cranky? Did you have dinner? Are you feeling better?
Yeah,
Like,
it was taco night, so it was
oh,
nothing
Taco
to
Tuesday. Now,
yeah.
last time you told me this, you said you did white people tacos. Did you do the same thing?
No, my mom had a good variety. Guac and pico and all the normal fruit vegetables on a taco. So that was good today to balance it out. Not
Okay.
outrageous. Oh, Darius
Yes.
didn't see your story.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Darius. So for anybody who missed my story, the Nutrageous coffee, then we should call it like Nikki's Nutrageous coffee or something, right?
Oh, I don't want to be your DMs. Um,
It was iced. Hold on, now I have to remember. It was iced
it was iced coffee with one Splenda, hazelnut, and
toasted
toasted
almond
almond and
with
hazelnut.
cookie butter cold foam.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the
Oh,
cookie foam.
what?
I forgot about the cookie foam. Yeah,
It's so good.
diabetes waiting to happen.
No, not diabetes at all because the toasted almond and the hazelnut are the unsweetened
No,
flavors.
I know. Just the cookie butter just sounds like diabetes. Just ready to go.
It's really not that sweet. You know that I don't really like
Right,
sweet
right. That's
things.
why I'm shocked that you bit the bullet with that.
Once you like mix it in, it just adds like a
Oh,
more
that reminds
nuttier
me of
flavor.
something. You got peppermint mocha, and you make fun of me when I just get regular mocha. Hypocrite, but go on.
Yes, I will go on. You fucking put mocha in everything. Your raspberry, your blueberry.
I haven't done mocha in 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
2 3 weeks, but like, oh no. So I've seen you put mocha in raspberry. I've
No,
seen
that
you put it
was
in blueberry.
no.
I've seen you put it in
That
hazelnut.
was
Like,
no
yes, you
hazelnut
do.
is
You
my
put mocha
go-to
in
with.
everything. You put it in the coconut. You put it in the toasted almond. You mocha all your coffees. Yes, you do.
I
I have
know.
clips of you saying you put mocha. You did something in the summer that was so fucking disgusting.
No,
Like, I
that
couldn't
was
even
Dunkin'
believe it.
Roulette. That was Dunkin' Roulette. You
I
can't.
didn't make that. No, because you messed it up and then you tried to save it and you're like, let me throw mocha on it. And that just made it worse. So
Well,
I do feel like peppermint mocha is first of all, it is modified because it comes with too much shit in there and too sweet. I do modify it to hell. So it is like Nikki's version of a peppermint mocha. But I do not mocha every flavor like you do. Like you mocha'd blueberry.
no,
That's
that was
crazy.
roulette. That was roulette. And no, that was raspberry that I did. I never did it
I
with
didn't make
blueberry.
you do that, by the way. You did that on your own volition.
Yeah, because I like chocolate with raspberry
You
filling.
even mocha that weird jelly donut, that weird donut one I made you try. Like you mocha everything. I mocha the peppermint, which I feel like is normal.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody mochas blueberry, okay?
I got blueberry once, and I didn't mocha the blueberry.
You
I
mocha
mocha the raspberry.
everything's got mocha in it, okay? Like everything.
It's been two
So
or three
speaking
weeks.
of, have you had the iced peppermint mocha? Have you done it yet?
No, I haven't. I'm not in that Christmas cherry spirit yet.
I'm not either, but I will drink it because you can. There's a way to do it at Starbucks too, where you can get it like year round.
Okay. Did you eat yet?
I had a piece of grilled chicken. And
Okay.
I did cardio. I went tanning. I did get a smoothie after tanning. So I was like not super, super hungry, but like hungry enough where I had like a piece of grilled chicken. But the smoothie like kind of filled me up a little bit. So
Okay. Awesome. All right, guys. We will see you next time. Thanks for checking us out. Thunder and Lightning. The Knicks are currently winning 74-68. So
all
keep
right.
up the good work. Hopefully we don't give up 40 points in the fourth again. But as always, we are the New York Sports Show about everything and nothing at the same time. Until next show, have a good one, guys.
Bye.